My surroundings flash past me in a blur as I hurtle through the backstage passages of the Gilded Canary. I tug sharply at my necklace and feel it snap. The wing enchantment vanishes. I drop the broken necklace and skid around a corner. I'm vaguely aware of the shouts behind me, but I can't tell if they're from the people I've almost slammed into or from Ash. 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 My heart is in my throat as I duck behind a costume rack laden with dresses, each one shot through with threads of glowing color. I raise my right arm, turn my wrist, and run one finger across the pearls threaded onto the wrap bracelet until I find the largest one. Then I squeeze it hard between my thumb and forefinger. I saved up for months to be able to afford the powerful and illegal spell hidden inside this stone. But tonight is precisely the kind of desperate situation I was preparing for when I purchased it, so I don't hesitate before whispering the 2 words that go along with the spell. In an instant, I'm invisible. Still, I'm not about to take my time getting out of here. As is the case with most private buildings belonging to fairies, the paths can't be accessed from within these walls. I need to get outside. Since I have to pass my dressing room anyway, I slam to a halt against the doorframe, lunge for my locker, and grab my jacket. I have a feeling I may need the numerous small weapons concealed within it. The jacket vanishes from sight the moment I touch it, and I tug it on as I race back into the twisting passageways. I just about throw myself through the door back into the main part of the club. I race across the gold floor and then the rainbow room, ignoring the startled cries of patrons as my invisible form shoves past them. Finally, I'm hurtling beneath the water droplet curtain and across the foyer toward the main doors. I ram into the right-hand one to shove it open, and one of the bouncers cries out behind me as I jump down the steps. I run. My sneakers slam the sidewalk, I swing myself around the corner, and then finally I come to a gasping halt. I raise my hand, already holding my stylus, to the wall. The words I write are a shaky mess, but they're enough for the doorway spell to work. Darkness spreads across the wall, revealing an entrance to the black nothingness of the fairy paths. I lurch forward, throwing a final glance over my shoulder. No one there. I try to feel relieved as the edges of the doorway melt together, sealing me inside the safety of the paths. But there is no relief, only panic. I picture my apartment. Warm yellow light permeates the darkness ahead of me. I hurry toward it, my next steps carrying me out of the paths and into my lamplit bedroom. I catch myself against the edge of the bed, my chest heaving as my heart continues to pound. Ash. Ash. How did he find me? After more than 2 years, I thought I was safe. With my stylus still clutched in my hand, I touch the simple aquamarine stud in my left earlobe, one half of the charm that's supposed to protect me from all tracking and summoning magic, and rush to the wardrobe. I reach into one of the shelves for the glass jar partially concealed behind a messy pile of half-folded t-shirts and sweaters. The jar should be filled with blue liquid. Whenever the level is within an inch of the bottom, I redo the spell and top up the jar's contents. Always. Except, right now there is not a single drop left. Crap. Fear paralyzes me, and for a moment, all I can do is stare at the empty jar. How did I let this happen? How long has it been empty? How could I have become so complacent? I'm supposed to check it every day. It's supposed to be in my line of sight the moment I swing the door open every morning to find something to wear. The only reason I ever put anything away in this darn wardrobe is so that I'm forced to open it on a daily basis. And the jar had to hide in the wardrobe because I couldn't very well leave it out in the open where one of my overly inquisitive friends might see it. Okay, I'm okay. Breathe, think, plan. I turn blindly away from the wardrobe, leaving the jar inside. I squeeze my eyes shut, but all I see is Ash's face. His amber eyes, his angular jaw, his honey-streaked dark hair. My brain is already cataloging all the ways in which he's changed. Taller, broader, stronger, and yet, he's the same Ash. My heart squeezes painfully. I force my eyes open, press my fingers to my temples, and pace to the window. The city lights are smudges of color on the other side of the dirty glass. This tiny apartment is nothing amazing, but it's been home for over a year. The thought that I may no longer be safe here makes me sick. Logically, Ash shouldn't be able to follow me through the paths. not without touching me. But if he tracked me to the Gilded Canary, he can track me here too. Perhaps he has already located this apartment. Perhaps the protective enchantments I cast when I moved in are the only thing keeping him out. I've always wondered whether they actually work. After all, what does a teenager with zero experience in that particular area of magic know? Most people would pay a professional for that sort of thing if they can afford it. But perhaps I should have had more faith in my skills. Perhaps I did a good enough job to keep unwanted fairy visitors out. Ugh, focus, Silver. Make a plan. What should I do first? Grab my go bag and run, or make more cloaking charm? If Ash can track me, then it doesn't matter where I go. I won't be safe until I can magically conceal myself. I drop my hands to my sides, my grip tightening on my stylus. Cloaking charm, I decide. I'll trust that the protection I placed on this apartment will keep him out while I grab all the necessary elements and prepare a new batch. Then, when I leave here and go somewhere new, he won't be able to—
Please don't run.
I whip around, my heart jumping into my throat once more. And there he is, on the other side of my bed, so out of place in this room, in this world. I guess I was right to doubt those protective enchantments after all.
Silver.
Magic rises instantly to my palms. I hurl a handful of sparks at him. He dodges easily, but that's all the time I need. I'm across the room before my stained glass lamp. The unintended target of my magic hits the floor and shatters. I race through the tiny living room, dodging left past the armchair as I sense the crackle of magic behind me. Sparks shoot past and strike the couch, blasting a hole through one of the cushions and slamming the cheap piece of furniture against the wall. Ducking down behind the armchair, I raise one hand and hastily cast a shield of protective magic between Ash and me. He's in my bedroom doorway now, his mouth opening to speak.
Please just...
But I'm up again, dashing to the nearest wall, lifting my stylus to scribble a doorway spell. Some baser part of my brain screams at me to free every weapon from inside this jacket, drop my shield, and hurl them at him. I'm faster than he is. He'd be down within seconds. But it's Ash, and I—
Hey, wait! Just wait! I'm not here to hurt you.
You just fought me and then told me I'm supposed to be dead. I pause halfway through the doorway spell and look back at him through the shimmering, near-transparent layer of my shield. If all you wanted to do was talk, Ash, you could have knocked on my front door instead of surprising me inside a fighting ring.
I didn't know where you lived. I found you there last night and tried to follow you, but you vanished as soon as the fight was over. And then you wouldn't let me get a word in tonight before attacking me, and we don't have time, and I didn't even know for sure that it was you. Silver, I don't—
He cuts himself off, raking a hand through his hair. Something in his expression seems almost desperate.
I thought you were dead. All this time, I thought you were dead. That's what we were all told.
I hesitate as his words dig their fingers into my brain. But even if what he says is true, it doesn't change what he did that night.
Holy Faye. I can't believe it's really you standing in front of me.
Wonderful. So people lied to you, and now that you've discovered the truth, you're here to finish the job? Well, good luck with that. I return my attention to the doorway spell. The glowing half-written words have disappeared. I start again.
What? No.
A doorway melts open across the wall. I take a step.
No. Silver, just wait, please.
Instead of disappearing into the dark opening, I hesitate. It's stupid, I know. I should be running as fast as I did the day the guild tried to kill me. I should be turning my back on Ash and never allowing him space inside my head again, but it's him. It's him, and there's something inside me that simply can't. No? I whip back around to face him. You, Asher Blackburn, my best friend in the whole world, tried to kill me. And now you show up out of the blue as my latest opponent at the Gilded Canary, and I'm supposed to believe you're not here to try again. He goes silent, a look of horror crossing his face.
What? Kill you? Are you insane? We were told that your parents had murdered 2 guild counselors because those counselors discovered your parents were Unseelie spies. We were told that you were in on it too, that you'd helped them steal information. I was trying to catch you, not kill you. I figured there must have been a good explanation for—
Oh, you were just trying to catch me, that's all? My right hand curls tightly around my stylus. Because you believed I was an Unseelie spy and should be locked up by the guild? Wow, I feel so much better now.
Silver.
I told you the truth that night, but you chose to believe them over me.
No, I didn't know what to believe. I was confused. Bergenfell. She was so damn convincing. She said the three of you had been lying to us since the moment you stepped into Storm's Drift all those years ago. And I kept thinking that it couldn't be true. There was just no way because I knew you. But also, what if it was true? What if you'd been lying to me all along? Because it wasn't just Bergenfell saying those things. I overheard multiple counselors that night, the people we'd always looked up to and respected and trusted, the people I had been trained to obey, the people you were trained to obey.
I release a short breath of utter disbelief. How long did I live in Storm's Drift, Ash? 10 years? You honestly thought I'd been lying to you every single day for a decade?
No, I thought...
You thought what? Do tell me, Ash, exactly what was going through your mind when I was running for my life, and you were the one throwing magic at me.
Can we please just...
Please, nothing. Tell me what you really thought.
Fine. At worst, I thought your parents must have lied to you about what happened that night, and you believed what they were telling you.
Screw you.
And at best, I figured there must be some huge misunderstanding between them and the council, and that if we could all just...
There was no misunderstanding, no truth potion questioning, no chance for justice. My parents were good people, excellent guardians, and they ended up discovering something the council wanted to keep hidden, so that was the end of it. The council decided to get rid of them as quickly as possible. And when they came after us, when they killed my mom and dad, you were on their side, not mine. His expression is wretched now.
I made a mistake. I have been heartbreakingly aware of that every single day. If I hadn't gone after you, you might have escaped. Instead, a bunch of counselors caught you, and you ended up dead. Or so they had us believe. But your death was an accident, Silver. We weren't ordered to kill you. If someone had given me that order, I would have refused in a heartbeat.
My jaw clenches as my brows pinch together. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think the details of those final moments aren't seared into my brain forever? I know what you were all ordered to do, Ash. I heard exactly what Counselor Bergenfell said. I suck in a deep breath before finishing. Kill her. Ash steps closer to my shield, no trace of doubt in his expression.
I remember too, and Bergenfell may have given that order to the council, but she certainly didn't give it to the rest of us. We were told to—
How does that change anything? My parents are still dead, and you and I are still standing here on opposite sides of the law. You think I lied to you about—
I saw it, Silver. The door. I know you were telling the truth.
What? I blink, my brain taking a moment to catch up with this unexpected subject change. But then my thoughts start firing again, and I know immediately what door he's talking about. The faerie door my parents discovered in the Shadow Crypt. The faerie door responsible for everything that went wrong that night. Unlike the faerie paths, which can be used to travel almost anywhere in either realm, a faerie door has a fixed location on either side. Mom didn't tell me if she knew where that door led to, but she did tell me what came through it. A fae creature unlike anything she'd ever seen before. A monster. The real killer of the two counselors, whose deaths she and my dad were blamed for. I shake my head, banishing the memory. You saw the faerie door?
Yes, 2 nights ago. The counselors know what I saw, and now they're after me too. I overheard them.
Silver?
We both look toward the door.
Who is that?
No one!
Silver, honey, you okay in there? We heard a crash.
Multiple crashes. Just want to make sure you're okay.
Ash's brows climb as he looks at me.
No one?
My neighbors, just ignore them. They'll go away.
We're coming in. Squeak now if you're fine and don't need our help.
I groan. Ash's eyebrows inch higher.
Exactly how many no ones have a key to your apartment?
Look, they have nothing to do with you or the door or whatever reason you're here, so don't you dare hurt them.
Why would I hurt—
Shut up. The lock on my front door clicks. I swipe at the air and my shield vanishes. Instinct, or just my silly, desperate heart, tells me it wasn't necessary in the first place. Just shut up and get back in my room. I point toward my door, then give him a shove for good measure. Or at least glamour yourself for goodness sake. I don't need them asking questions about you.
We seriously don't have time for—
Now. I shove harder. With a deep grumble, Ash stalks the final distance into my room. I spin around and bound toward the front door just as it swings open. Hey, hi! I catch the door and keep it from opening all the way. I love Teddy and Duke, far more than I should ever have allowed myself to love a pair of humans. But if I let them in now, they'll be here all night chatting. So sorry, I walked into a table. I roll my eyes and force out a laugh while hiding my stylus in my back pocket. Just being clumsy. I'm greeted by two highly suspicious gazes, one peering out of a pale, skinny face, the other from a dark, chiseled one. Teddy is ensconced in his favorite fluffy robe, while the sweat glistening on Duke's hulking form suggests he's just returned from his evening gym session.
Clumsy?
You're never clumsy.
Teddy flips his hair, currently dyed a horrendous shade of green, out of his eyes.
You're like lethally graceful.
Lethally graceful? This time, my laugh is a little closer to genuine. I tuck a few loose strands of silver behind my ear. How very poetic, Teddy. Those late-night creative writing classes are clearly paying off.
You're dodging the subject. There was some kind of scuffle in here. And then you came racing over to the door looking highly flustered. If you weren't being attacked, then I assume you're hiding a lover.
A lover?
Which is totally cool. All you needed to do was shout that you were fine. We were just worried when we heard the crashes, that's all.
Teddy cranes his neck as he peers over my shoulder.
I don't see anyone. Holy poo, what happened to your couch? Is it
Look, you know I love you guys, but you're being super nosy, and now is not a good time. I assure you, I'm fine. Thank you for checking on me.
Is that blood on your arm?
Crap. I curse inwardly as I look down and find a cut on my upper left arm. Oh, that's just from the lamp.
The Tiffany lamp? The one we gave you? I knew I heard glass shattering.
Silver, what's going on? Are you in some kind of trouble? You know you can tell us if you need help.
I almost laugh at the idea. Teddy and Duke helping me out with my Ash problem. Ash could knock willowy Teddy over with one finger, and as for Duke, well, he might spend hours at the gym working on his toned physique, but Ash could bring him down in seconds if he had to. So could I, for that matter. Seriously, guys, I'm fine.
You sure? Blink twice if you need us to call
We do not have time for this.
Duke's gaze shoots over my shoulder, his expression hardening immediately.
Who the hell are...
Seriously? I face Ash with my hands placed firmly on my hips. I told you to stay in my room.
Oh, I knew you had a guy in there.
Is he from the cult?
The cult? Just never mind. There's no time for this. I'm not kidding, Silver.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. You're right, love. We should probably call
You're in danger. They know you're alive. They know where to find you. We have to go.
My hands slip slowly from my hips. My next breath catches in my throat. They know where to find you. Is this the moment I've been hiding from for more than 2 years? The moment my life shatters to pieces around me all over again.
They? Who's they? People from the cult?
But Ash ignores him, still staring at me, his body tense.
We have to go.
I turn to face Teddy and Duke, inhaling deeply. Will I ever see them again after I close this door? My eyes scan their faces, memorizing as much detail as I can. Teddy's pursed lips, Duke's concerned gaze. Emotion constricts my throat. I knew I should never get close to them. I knew it would break my heart one day. Whether 5, 10, or 20 years from now, I knew they'd eventually notice that somehow, oddly, their friend Silver doesn't seem to age. I knew I'd have to move on at some point and that getting attached to people would only hurt me in the long run. But they came over with their freshly baked cookies and their offer to set up my Wi-Fi, back when I didn't even know what Wi-Fi was. And I was so lonely and broken, I couldn't turn them away. I soaked up Teddy's nonstop chatter and Duke's contagious, rumbly laughter like a withered flower in a drought. Their door was always open to me, and I took full advantage, stepping into their hearts and allowing them into mine, knowing it would cost me one day. But I had hoped one day was still far away. I step forward and wrap my arms around both of them. It's on the tip of my tongue to blurt out everything in a rushed whisper. I'm a faerie. I'm from another world, but the law enforcers of that realm killed my parents, and I was forced to run for my life. but I can't say these things. Not because I care about the Guild's laws, but because it's safer for Teddy and Duke if they don't know the truth. I love you guys, I say instead.
What's happening?
I'll be fine, I swear. I step back, smiling at them. You don't have to call the police. I jerk my thumb over my shoulder at Ash. He's just a friend from my past. We have some catching up to do, that's all. See you guys later, okay? I close the door before they can reply, saying goodbye in my head since I can't say it out loud. It would freak them out too much. Behind me, Ash takes a few steps closer.
Come on, we need to get out of here.
I tilt my head forward and touch my brow to the back of the door, allowing my eyes to slide shut for a moment. Pain gathers into a hard core at the center of my being. The pain of everything I lost 2 years ago and everything I'm about to lose now. But I should have known, the second I tugged that mask off Ash's face and saw it was him, that my current life was over. If he knows where I am, then of course the council knows too. I whirl around on him, and my sudden burst of raw magic is enough to throw him across the room and onto the half-burned couch. I'm not going anywhere with you. I don't ever want to see you again. If what you're telling me is true, then I appreciate the heads up. But I sure as hell don't trust you enough to go anywhere through the paths with you. I trusted you before, and look where that got me.
I'm trying to help you.
Help me? Is that what you were doing a few minutes ago when you threw magic at me? You know, the magic that burned a hole through my furniture? He rises slowly, his expression changing. Gone is the desperation, the wretchedness, the disbelief at finally seeing me again after so long. Even from across the room, I can see the steely determination in the set of his jaw.
Yes, that was a stunner spell.
You tried to stun me?
Yes, and I would do it again. I failed you before, and I'm not about to repeat that mistake. If I have to stun you in order to get your stubborn ass out of here, I'll do it.
Oh, for goodness sake, don't be so dramatic.
I thought you were dead, and you could very well end up dead for real if you don't leave here right now, so I think I have every right to be dramatic.
Fine, I am leaving, just not with you. I shove past him and head for my bedroom. I need to grab my things. My lamp is broken, lying on the floor surrounded by shattered glass, but I can see enough by the dim light that filters through the dirty window pane. I hunker down beside the bed and swipe my hand over the section of floor I enchanted to safely house my go bag and weapons. Several floorboards disappear, revealing a backpack, a collection of blades of varying size and shape, a bow, arrows, and a leather quiver, and a few other weapons I've collected in the time since I fled the guild. Feel free to show yourself out. I don't need you hanging around while I go rigid at the sound of my name. No one's called me that in years, not even my parents when they were still alive. It's the name they gave me at birth, but Mom nicknamed me Silver early on, and it stuck.
I heard your name, your real name, when I got close to the door. Someone on the other side was calling to you.
Slowly, I look over my shoulder. He's standing in the bedroom doorway. What?
I was expecting it to be dark, like inside the paths. That's what you see behind other fairy doors, until you walk through them. But this was gray and misty, and then a shadow moved past the other side of the door. Something was definitely there.
Wait. I stand and face him. The door was open?
No, it was closed, but there were holes in it, so I could see a little bit of what was on the other side.
Holes?
Yes. Here and there amid the carvings on the door. They were...
He shakes his head.
Look, can we please go somewhere else before we talk about this? We're not safe here.
I told you I'm not going anywhere with you.
Silver, you are involved in this whether you like it or not. You can't keep hiding in a world you don't even belong in.
I'm not going back there.
Please just hear me out.
I can't.
I need your help! There is something strange, very strange, going on in Storm's Drift. Things are getting bad, and I'm pretty sure it's all happening because of that fairy door. But I can't go to the council, because they're the ones trying to cover this all up. And I figured you might know something that could help, because your parents...
Things are getting bad? What does that mean? We both freeze at the sound. Then Ash turns to face the living room.
Wonderful.
He raises both arms. Warm light burns through the darkness. and by the time his arms are level with his shoulders, he's gripping a crossbow that glitters like 1,000 golden stars.
Looks like we're out of time.
From Storm and Shadow by Rachel Morgan continues in Chapter 3.